It's said that all criminals make mistakes. A messenger leaving the bank with his firm's wage money is set upon, knocked unconscious, and the money stolen. But there's a witness unnoticed by the crooks. That's their mistake number one. It's too late for him to prevent the crime, so he decides to telephone the police while he leaves the injured man in charge of a passerby. Mistake number two, one of the crooks dropped his hat beside the victim's. Soon, the sergeant on duty in the information room has taken down brief particulars and handed them to a member of the Women's Auxiliary Police Corps. From the control room, a wireless operator calls up a police car.
Proceed at once to the corner of Northwest and Southeast Streets.
Telephone operators make connections for a simultaneous broadcast to surrounding districts and to police officers in the city. Within a matter of minutes, detectives in a C.I.D. car are given their instructions and speed to the scene of the crime. The C.I.D. car arrives soon after the wireless area car. While uniformed men attend to the injured man, detectives interview the witness to get a description of the car and its occupants. The detective hands the victim back his hat and keeps the other as a clue. His expert eye has noticed some flakes of paint where the car scraped along the curb, and these are carefully collected for investigation. Another clue, a tire impression from the car. Meanwhile, the crooks are getting as far from the scene as possible. They abandon the car and make off on foot with the money. At the police headquarters, the witness is taken to the fingerprint and modus operandi department to see if he can identify the crooks from particulars on the files. In this room are kept records of thousands of known criminals, for the police know that the majority of crimes are committed by professional crooks, each specializing in a particular type of crime. The witness is given a file of photographs of men likely to have committed robbery with violence. After a search, he picks out two as being like the men he saw. From the rows of record files, the particulars of the suspected men are taken. Details of their associates and the places they are known to frequent are contained in one file, while the file beneath it contains impressions of their fingerprints. While this is happening, a police constable patrolling his beat notices the abandoned car near some bomb-damaged property. After looking to see there is nobody inside and checking up the registration number from his notebook, he gets through to headquarters and tells them what he's found. As soon as the details have been received, the detectives set out to look over the abandoned car, taking with them a case containing fingerprint materials and other implements for the detection of clues. Soon, that case full of gadgets will have revealed hidden clues that you and I would have overlooked. This is the one part of detection that really is like detective stories. Fingerprint powder shows marks on the windscreen. A plaster cast is taken of a footprint discovered in some soft earth. The fingerprints are photographed, while the plaster cast, after being washed of earth, is preserved as further evidence. Senior officers of the police arrive on the scene to approve and verify what has already been done and to make sure that no detail, however small, has been overlooked. While the photographs and the plaster cast were being taken, evidence has been found in the car. The bag, minus the money, a coche, and a blood-stained handkerchief. The next step is to take the photograph of the fingerprints back to headquarters to match it up with the collection on the files. It is soon found to match exactly the print from the right hand of one of the suspects. An expert has brought to him a parcel containing what will be called the exhibits when the case comes to court. The paint scrapings, the blood-stained handkerchief, the cosh with which the victim was hit, and the crook's hat all have a story to tell. Hairs are carefully removed from the hat to be matched up later with the hair of the suspects. The paint scrapings are discovered to be identical with the paint on the car, and the blood from the handkerchief is found to be of the same group as that of one of the wanted men. The case is nearly over. All that remains is for the detectives to visit the haunts of the suspects and speak those words in their ears which all criminals dread. You'd better come quietly. Yes, the criminal hasn't much chance of getting away with it nowadays.